Okay, hello, I am the Watch Golem, and today I'm doing a sort of follow-up video that I did to my Casio video, and I'm going to show you how to regulate the Casio modules 248 and 548 I have in a couple of Marlins I own. So I'm just going to caveat this first of all by saying I'm not a professional watchmaker. If you try this on your own watches, responsibility for what happens to them you take yourself. They are old, these watches, the modules are old, they can go wrong when this happens, but it's just something extra you can do if you're changing a battery. Anyway, let's start. So these are the two watches. I'm going to be doing, and I'm doing this at night unfortunately, so lighting is not the greatest, so I'm not sure. I seem to just try and turn on a better light, see what happens. Absolutely nothing. Right, anyway, so I'm going to be doing this, which is my W760, my Casio, and that's the W750, got it wrong already, and this is the W760. And the reason I'm going to show these two is that this W760 has the Casio module 548, and the W750 has the Casio module 248. So first things first, I need to take the case backs off. So I'm going to use my trusty Bergen JAXA case back remover. So I'm just going to pause while I get these off. Okay, so I've just loosened the case backs. So 248, 548. And just to sort of, before you start this, it's always best to set your watch to an accurate time signal and measure if it needs to be speeded up or slowed down. And the reason I'm doing two watches, so you can see the difference between the 248 movement and the 548 movement. Now, taking off these case backs can be tricky because there are little springs inside there, and if those springs go missing, and those springs are for the alarm, and they can fly off, and unless you get the exact same ones, good luck. Anyway, luckily for these, they're on the movement. So here are the two modules, I'll call them modules. So I'm going to show you the 248 first. I'm going to zoom in as best I can. That's 248, so as you can see, there's the point out with my Nando's pointer. There's the battery, there's the cover, and this is the trimmer. And this is the bit you're going to adjust. This is what speeds up or slows down the watch. The way the trimmers work, try and zoom in as best as I can. So if you turn it 180 degrees, it goes from minimum to maximum. The problem is you don't know where it is in the range or where it was when it came out of the factory and is being adjusted. Now the rule of thumb, and it is a rule of thumb, is that if you turn it to the left, it slows the watch down. If you turn it to the right, it speeds it up. And just to give you a heads up, a millimetre of turn is huge. It can make a big difference to the watch. The problem is, because quartz watches are inherently accurate already, you may have to wait a whole week to see if you speeded it up or slowed it down. Usually a couple of days normally once you get going. The other thing about these trimmers is they don't always start to work immediately. So you start to twiddle it and nothing happens, and you twiddle it and nothing happens, and then 3 days later all of a sudden the watch is gaining 2 seconds a day. So don't lose heart when you're adjusting them. This process can take 2 weeks, and of course you have to put the case back on loosely and then put it back on and make changes. Now for this I use, I think it's a 0.2 mil. Let me just double check on that. Where's my, it's got it written on it. Should have checked before I started this video, but there you go. This is a, it hasn't got it written on it, and that's a shame. Oh, there we go, 1.8 mil. There we go. So there's a 1.8 mil. And it fits very, very well, and that's important. You've got to make sure it fits in there really, really well. And you're literally looking at a millimetre of turn, and then leave it. Reset the watch, write the date and time you did it, and just let it move away. This is the 548, and the 548, just get it into the light better if I can. The trimmer is there, what does the trimmer actually do? It varies the frequency of the quartz oscillator using a capacitor, and that's what you adjust. And you have to leave it, make the slightest change, and it's very hard. You need to practice just a little bit of a change, and you'll get it wrong at first. So perseverance and just playing about with it. And then the best thing to do afterwards is you put your case backs back on. I better check I actually got these the right way around. Which one's the 548? Because that would be embarrassing. This is the... Yep. So this is the 548. And the problem with these screw back cases and the Casio modules is that when you put them back on, they can twist the module inside, and you get what looks like the module appearing to be moved over a little bit. Will probably happen on this one. I'm just going to put these back on because I don't actually need to adjust these two watches because I've done this last year, a year ago, and they do run very, very well. They run within about 12 seconds a year, but it varies depending upon the battery voltage and the temperature. But there doesn't seem to be a consistency. But let's see if we get this module twist I've talked about. That one's actually come out okay, which is good. Let's check this one. No, that one looks good. But that's basically what you do. And you just go for it, leave the case backs on loose. Don't wear the watch, just leave it somewhere safe and just check it. And then unscrew it and recheck it, unscrew it and recheck it, readjust. And you just go through that process, and it can take 2 weeks. Great if you've got a machine for checking quartz accuracy. I don't have one of those because they cost thousands. You can't stick them on a time grapher, but that's basically what you do. And that's the difference between the 248 module and the 548 module. 548 module was also put in the very first G-Shock, the DW, I think it was the 5600. So that is adjustable. And I don't know about other modules. I'm sure other Casio modules are also adjustable, but these are the two that I know of. Anyway, I hope that's been useful. And thanks for watching, and please subscribe.